Make some noise for Josh Jassy!
Wow, thank you so much for having me. This is so cool. I am happy to spend the 4th of July with you. Maybe you're not aware of some of our customs on the 4th of July. One of them that sticks out is a hot dog eating contest. And I've been traveling the world, and a lot of people think that they know what a hot dog is. They even think that they have their own version of a hot dog. And as I've traveled the world, I can honestly say that no, you don't. Because you all here, I'm not going to pronounce it correctly, but you have bratwurst. That's not hot dog at all. That's good. You have to understand, to make a hot dog, like bratwurst is beef or veal. It's a meat with herbs and spices in it, cooked well. A hot dog, especially in America, a hot dog is something that to make you first have to find. And when I say find, I mean like putting together a proper hot dog in its casing and to serve is a lot like a witch's spell. You have to find meat that's first on the floor. It's very important this meat is on the floor. If the meat is not on the floor, you might not be making a hot dog. You have to find this meat that's on the floor. You have to couple it all together. You have to push it through this machine. And bratwurst, once again, beef, veal, you can only hold together a proper hot dog with hate and like a touch, like a dash, just a little bit of poverty, right? So you have some hate, you have, you can get a side of anger in there too. And then you put it together into a hot dog, you wrap it up nicely so it looks like it might be edible. Because I don't know if you've had a hot dog. In order to prepare a hot dog, it's not like preparing a bratwurst. You have to boil a hot dog. And in order to boil the hot dog, it means you do have to ruin some water. You put the hot dog in the water, you boil it up, that cooks the hot dog. Cooks is a strong word. What are you cooking? It's demon meat. But you boil the hot dog up, so then you pull it out, that's cooked. You then put it in a bun to cover up that you're eating a hot dog. The water you have to dispose of like toxic waste. A lot of people will pour this down the sink. Don't do that. Don't get that mixed in with the regular. When I was little, I had a friend who his mom had a flower garden, and he'd make hot dogs after school, and then he'd pour the water in the hot dog garden, and all of the flowers died. Because that is runoff poison water. But yeah, you boil a hot dog, and then you eat it, and when you eat it, you're supposed to close your eyes and pretend you're chewing something else. Because this is going to be nasty. You can try to dress it up with mustard, ketchup, with mayo relish, with whatever manner of things people do. Some people will act really, really holier than thou about how they prepare their hot dog, as if a hot dog is not a mystery of meat mushed together I say all that because on the 4th of July, there is a hot dog eating contest that takes place. And the winner this year, once again, is a man named Joey Chestnut. And this year, he ate 70 hot dogs in 10 minutes, which is the correct response. You know how I said that when you felt physically ill? That's how you're supposed to feel on the 4th of July after eating as many hot dogs as possible. I believe the record is 76 hot dogs. And I remember one time my buddy entered a hot dog eating contest, and he was super excited about it. And he had watched Kobayashi, he had watched Joey Chestnut, and he thought he could do it too. He was like, if they can do it, I can do it. Let's give it a try, right? And so he entered the hot dog eating contest, and it wasn't like the official Nathan's hot dog. It was just like a local one that was happening on 4th of July. And he entered the contest, sat down with the other contestants, and then over the course of 10 minutes, my friend ate 2. This man ate 2 hot dogs in 10 minutes. We were watching it like, when is he gonna kick into gear? Like, when is it? There are other people that are literally like swallowing hot dogs as fast as possible. There was one dude that was this was incredible. He was screaming hot dogs down, right? He was like, oh! Meanwhile, our buddy, hot dogs in 10 minutes. We went from cheering to booing. We started out supportive. Initially, we were like, yeah, get him, you can do it. And then, when it was clear he couldn't, we were like, stop, you wasting a hot dog. When he got done, we asked him, hey, what happened? We drove you here. You the one wanted to go way out the way to enter this contest to waste everybody's time. 2 hot dogs in 10 minutes is not a contest, that's a meal. What's wrong with you? And he was like, I panicked. What are you panicking about? He's like, I saw everybody else do it, and they were so fast. I was like, how are they not choking? And then I remembered I might choke. So then I started chewing extra. I was scared to choke. I was like, if you had at least choked, then 2 hot dogs in 10 minutes would be more reasonable. You got people over here fighting to get hot dogs now. He over here chewing responsibly. I do my best when I go anywhere to be as good of a guest as I can. You know, it means a lot to me to have me over here and for me to be your guest for a little while. I've been looking forward to this trip for a long time. And I'm always a little tense when I'm a guest, though. You know, even if it's just visiting a friend's house, you want to be a good guest. You don't want to leave and then have them be like, never again. You know, like I get nervous to be seen as a bad guest. I don't want anything to go wrong. Like I've had to stay over, you know, for a couple nights at friends' houses, and they're like, "Oh, make yourself at home. What's mine is yours." I feel like that's a trap. You know, because you really make yourself at home and then you find out how much they mean it later. It's like, I'd rather just act like I shouldn't be in here at all. Quiet as a mouse, you know. I'll just act like I broke in and just try to affect as little as possible in the home. And they'll be like, what? He's such a good guest. We didn't even know he was here. One time I got so stressed out about being a guest at my friend's house while they were out of town that I just never went. And they were like, Josh, our apartment looks amazing. Did you do all this cleaning before you left? I was like, yep, you know it. Wanted to leave it better than I found it, you know. Because even being the guest at a party, that's like a short-term guest. When you're just there for the party, you're just there, you know, a few hours, maybe half the day if it goes long. And I'm terrified to be a bad guest there. I just don't want to be remembered in a bad light. And there was this one time where I went to a friend's party, and I'm not great at parties to begin with. You know, I'm very much in the corner, or if I know one person at the party, that will be the person that I'm talking to the entire party. Like it will be a burden on them. Sometimes I see a friend that I know at a party and no one else, and I'm like, ooh, you about to have a bad time at this party. I hate that for you. I'm very sorry. But it's either talk to you or talk to a stranger, and come on. And so, you know, I was at this party, and my friend who actually invited me to the party was late. We were supposed to meet up together, and I misunderstood the text message. I thought they were already in there. So I knock on the door, I meet the host, I tell him, you know, oh, I'm friends with, and then he lets me in, which is a huge mistake. Because now I'm just sort of standing awkwardly while other people have a great time. And so I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? This is the fail-safe. Every time you need a break from social interaction, or you just need to get your bearings together because you're in a public place and you're sort of freaking out, you go to the bathroom. The bathroom is the safe haven, right? And so I walk to the bathroom, I close the door behind me, and it's a little dim in the bathroom, but I use the bathroom, right? Other reason to go. And as I'm stepping away from the toilet, I hear this little crunch, like under my feet, and I look at it, and it's all of this glass under my feet, and it looks like the actual light bulb either popped or broke or something, and then now I've stepped in it. And as I really start to look around the bathroom, I realized that it is an absolute disaster in there. It is horrifically bad. So the bathroom mirror is smashed. I didn't notice it at first when I walked in, and the glass is in the sink, and there's a little bit of blood in the sink, right? And so I'm standing there, and I look over at the tub, and the shower curtain is pulled back, and there's a fur coat in the tub. And I'm like, all these things are too much for one thing. You know what I mean? Like this would be a shutting the bathroom down for a short period of time at the party if just one of them happened, and all of them are happening right now. And so I'm like, I don't know what to do. I flush. That's as much as I can clean up right now. And then I'm a bit panicked, so I get ready to just get out of the bathroom. Because if I can get out scot-free, if no one sees me come out of the bathroom, someone else can address this thing. Because I don't know anyone here. My only friend is late, and the host has just seen me once. So I get ready to, I don't even, admittedly, this is gross, sorry, but I wasn't even gonna wash my hands because I was like, there's a whole bunch of blood in there anyway. They'd be dirtier than when they were unwashed. And so I get ready to pull on the doorknob and I hear a knock. And I can't open the door. There's no way I could open the door and be like, all yours. You know? It's crazy in there. And so I hear the knock, and I think to myself, oh no. There's no way. First of all, if you need to go to the bathroom, the last thing you want is for someone to open the door and be like, all right, before you get in there. I just want you to know none of this is my fault, okay? Before you walk in with judgment, just know anything can happen to anybody at any point. Like, if you had been a little quicker with your feet, this would have been you, okay? I don't know what to do as I'm just standing there. And I'm admittedly standing there for like way too long. Like, and I hear a knock again. And I'm like, all right, I gotta do something. I gotta buy myself some time. And so I just say, 1 second. That's bought me 1 second. I have to use it wisely. And in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, I could try to clean up. I'm over here in my head freaking out because this is my worst nightmare. I'm gonna look like a terrible guest. I'm at a party where I don't know anybody, and I'm gonna look like I destroyed this bathroom. And so I'm Googling all types of stuff. I'm over here Googling, does glass flush? Like, does glass flush? How fast can you get blood out of the sink? If you were to look at my Google search history on this night, it would look like I definitely killed someone. Or at least a small animal. Because I was also Googling, like, does fur disintegrate? Like, and so, I just spent another minute and a half sweating and freaking out. And then I hear a knock, but this knock is like thicker. It's just like strong. It's clearly a different knock. It's clearly a different person. And that person is like, hey, come on, people waiting. I'm like, people? People are waiting. Okay, all right. People implies more than one person, which does imply, plural. And plural could just be two. It could just be the initial guy that knocked and is very patient, or maybe left. Who knows? Maybe he had to use the bathroom so bad that he left the party completely. But this person is adamant. Hey, I got to get in there, right? And he said, people are waiting. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, 2 people are waiting. And then he yells out, you got a line out here. What's happening in there? And I looked down at my phone, and I had been in the bathroom for like 15 minutes. Like I had let this go way too far. And so I froze. I didn't know what to do at all. It's like your absolute worst nightmare as a person that's like gets weird in like social interactions. To actually have this weird thing happen to you is like, I think maybe this is hell. I think maybe I've died. And so I'm pacing back and forth in the bathroom, which is only breaking more light bulb glass. And I finally look out of the little window, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to leave. Like I'm gonna have to jump out of the window. And in my like panic, I forgot that we were on the first floor. So it wasn't like a big jump or anything, but I did have to climb out of a window that wasn't man-sized. Luckily, neither am I. I was squeezing my hips at like an angle, like I put my hips like diagonal to the edges of the window to get as much space as possible, and I wiggled out. I fell out of the window, and I tried as much as I could to like pull the window back up from outside so that people wouldn't be like, oh, whoever it was went out the window. And then I was like, what do I do though? What if someone saw me go in, remembers me perfectly even though they don't know me, and could point me out, you know, because I wear the same thing every day. And so I'm like, the only option I have is to go back in. Is to go back in and join the line for the bathroom. And so I walk around the house and I'm thinking to myself, okay, all I gotta do is watch out for the host. His host was greeting me when I first walked in. As long as the host is like got to that point in the party where they're not greeting everybody and they're not answering the door every time, I should be good. And so I wait, some other people were arriving and they knock on the door. Someone else opens the door. I'm like, this is my chance. I sneak in behind those two other people and I immediately walk to the line for the bathroom. And luckily, my buddy who was late was in the back of the line, and he's like, can you just believe this? No, I do my best to be like a good house guest, you know, and especially when I travel, because when I travel, I have to do it as an American. I have to travel as an American now. You know? And it's like... I'm traveling more than I ever have in my life, experiencing new places for the first time. But one thing that I will say is, okay, there used to be a time where you would travel when you were from the U.S. You would go to other places and you would say that you were from the U.S. and people, there was a shine to it. There genuinely was like this like magnificent shine around you and your passport. People had questions for you. You know, you would say you were from the U.S. and they'd be like, oh, blue jeans. Wow. And then over time, the shine started to wear off a little bit, you know, like the way that we were perceived on the world stage started to change, and you would tell people that you were from the U.S. and they'd be like, oh yes, yeah, Beyonce. And now, you travel the world, and look, people ask me. I don't go around telling everyone my business all the time. People ask me, "Oh, where are you from?" And I go, "Oh, it's..." is American. And they're like, what? What? I didn't hear. Oh, is United States. What? I'm American. I'm from the U.S. From America. And I've traveled these past 2 weeks to Paris, Dublin, Brussels, Antwerp, now here. And there is a similarity. This happened more in Brussels and Antwerp than anywhere else, but it has also happened here where people will ask me where I'm visiting from, and then I will tell them. And there's a look and a noise you make that's genuinely offensive. Like it is. Once again, you asked me. I didn't say anything. I walk into the shop. Y'all are the ones, asking questions and stuff. And then I say that I'm from the U.S. I'm visiting from America. And then you go, oh. You get the face or you get the noise. You don't get both. Oh. I grew up in Louisiana, all right? And when I was, sure. And when I was in Louisiana, I have friends who live in all different parts of the state. And one of my friends, he actually lives he's in a rural area. He's in some swamp area near the bayou and everything. There's a bunch of things floating in the water, a bunch of predators out there. He does his hunting. He comes back home. That's mainly how he sustains himself and everything. And there was one time he was having a barbecue. A bunch of friends came over, and one of his buddies, his buddy Spence, came over and was having a cigarette off by himself. He walked off away from the barbecue to have his cigarette. And then sometime later, he comes back over, and in the back door, the way that a lot of the houses are built in Louisiana is you have your door and you have your screen door. And the screen door can keep out the bugs while also letting air flow into the home and everything. And so he pops his head near the screen door, and his head only. And Spence leans in and he says, "Hey, can you call an ambulance?" And our friend is like, "What? Why?" If anyone ever asks you to call an ambulance, just do it right away. I'm sure that they have a good reason. I'm sure they're not just getting you to do it for fun because they want to hear the siren. I think that they probably need some help. And so he's like, if you could just call him, that'd be great. Can you please just call him? And he's being very calm. And so our friend walks up and pokes his head out of the screen door, and he sees that Spence, though calm, is standing there, and there is a baby alligator around his foot. And that's the way you look at me when I tell you that I'm from the U.S. Now, coming here at a time where tourism in the U.S. is way down. Yeah, people aren't coming to visit as often. It's like if people used to love to come visit all the time, and then something happened. It'd be like if you went over to your friend's house all the time growing up, and then one day you stopped going, and your friend was like, why? Why wouldn't you just come over like you used to? Come hang out. And you're like, oh, well, last time I was there, your dad threw a plate at my head, so I think I'm good coming over for a while. You know? And so tourism is down in the U.S. People are choosing other places to go. And one of the main places that they're choosing to come is to Europe. It's all these places, like, some people will come to Berlin. A lot of it is happening in Spain with Barcelona and Madrid, in Italy, in Paris as well. And it's getting to the point where there's so much tourism, people are actually calling it like over-tourism. And this is happening at the same time as like massive heat waves, like wild heat waves, some of which we've never seen before. It's never been as hot as it is now. It's very hot. Luckily, not here today. But this week you had, one of your hottest days on record. I can't even imagine what that must have been like, because you all are like fit people. Like, you get on bikes to go you have to understand, my frame of reference is the US. So the fact that you're even walking next to a bike is leaps and bounds. I can't imagine trying to ride a bike in that heat, or running. Some of you run. And so that's wild that this level of like over tourism is happening at the same time as this heat wave. And there are people in Paris, there are people in Spain and Italy that have had enough. They're losing it over this. They're protesting the tourists. They're over here being like, stop it. Stop coming here right now. Talk amongst yourselves and spread it out throughout the year or something. But this is too much. You have places like, I could be wrong about these numbers, but I think in Barcelona you have like 1.6 million people living there, but like 26 million people visit throughout the year. That's wild. I understand that if you live in Barcelona and you're trying to ride your bike, eventually you're like, get out of the way! And then if you live in Barcelona, you're tired of all these tourists everywhere all the time, and you start freaking out. You might get a reputation for being a little bit rude to tourists, and then you'll be New York. But people are doing the best they can to protest. There's been all these different types. People get creative and stuff. There's one where they were shooting tourists with water guns throughout the day. Get out of here! Ah! Like when a dog tries to pee on the carpet. Although as far as protests go, you can tell that these are like good people doing the protesting, because that's what you came with, water guns. Water gun. I don't know. I'm coming from the U.S. where it would have just been guns. Like this. You can tell these are people who have a deep moral core, because you used water guns to protest tourists during a heat wave. They probably didn't even understand what was happening. They were probably over here like, oh, the Spanish are so hospitable. They saw how hot we were. And then some strangers we didn't even know were like, cooling us off. And I get the genuine frustration though, but this is the main problem, is that whether it's business or whether it's government, systems have a magnificent way of pitting us against each other. Like, there are people that are local that are upset because obviously with all this tourism, Airbnbs are shooting up. Airbnbs raise the price of living in the area, so then people are getting priced out of their homes. They're getting priced out of the areas that they grew up in. They have to find somewhere else to live, all for people who don't live here, who are just coming to peak, and then they head home. And that can be incredibly frustrating, but that's the people who are coming to visit didn't come up with a master plan. Airbnb and the government that allows Airbnb to run rampant are the people to blame. You should be taking, like, if you're gonna take anger out on anybody, it should be the local government and the Airbnb that allows it to run rampant. You should be using the water guns on the computers at this. You know, because I think that that's the main way that systems get to stay intact. They see this, Airbnb sees it, and local government sees it, and they're like, well, we get to rake in money while the people that live here blame somebody else. Why would we ever change our practices? You know? And I don't really know what the exact fix is. You know, I remember when Airbnb was like at your house. There was a time early in Airbnb's history where you were just renting a room in someone's house, and so they lived there, and then they collected the money from you staying with them like a little mini hotel. But that was like easier because then they lived here, so they cared about the home, they cared about the community, and you got to get a taste of like local life. And you could even ask them, hey, is there anywhere I should go to eat? And they would tell you, this is where we're going to eat tonight. And sometimes you would actually have a meal with your host. And I thought that was a really beautiful thing. And then like private equity and more money got involved, and so it ruined it. Because now an Airbnb is also like sometimes worse than a hotel, because they'll let the person who owns the Airbnb set the rules. So now you have someone setting these insane rules for the Airbnb. Like, you can't just check out. You can't just take your trash, put it outside, and leave. There are all these rules. Like, you have to make sure to wash the cabinets, wash all the dishes and everything, wipe everything down, you know, give our dog a bath. Also, you don't get charged a cleaning fee that you end up getting charged anyway, because in the small print, it was like, pick up our kid from school. And you didn't see that part. So now you're spending all this money on Airbnb to just go somewhere nice like Italy. And then you get to Italy and everyone's mad at you for visiting Italy, but you're also mad because you're like, the rules in this Airbnb say I have to buy this house before I leave.
To the Josh Johnson Show. I'm Josh Johnson, joined by my co-host and fellow stand-up comedian, Logan Nilsson. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm tip-top.
Great.
Yeah, it's been...
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. Apparently, my neighbors are happy. They've been doing burnouts all day.
Yeah, we'll see if it shows up in the audio, but it does sound like you're living next door to the fucking Daytona 500, the way...
Yeah.
It literally just sounded like race cars going in a circle.
We all celebrate in different ways, I guess. We all...
Yeah. I guess for context, because this will be a couple weeks after, but we're recording this the day after, Biden won the election. So a lot of people still out there.
Yeah, still out there
celebrating,
doing a lot of left turns, I guess.
Yeah.
When I first heard it, I thought the apartment was moving, because the first ones were so loud. They were
so
right
loud
out
front.
They seemed everywhere.
Right.
It sounded like the car was in my apartment. And I think they started being out front, and then now they've moved to more like the side streets. But yeah, and I'm sure if I were out there right now, I'd be like, yes, do it. It is very cool, because it is. It is like a fun thing to watch someone do.
I love that character in the street racing movies. Yes, do it. I think that's very cool.
Do it. Keep doing it even better.
Yes. Well done, chums. Very cool.
Matt, because here's the thing.
I like it. Burn out, baby. I think it's very cool.
What's funny to me, just in general about myself, is that I'm so scared to drive, but I'm not scared to fly at all. Like
that is interesting.
Yeah.
But, well, I mean, I get, but I mean, you're not flying the plane yourself.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Like,
I guess if I was flying the plane, I would be very stressed out.
Yeah, exactly. And I think why maybe, because do you get nervous when you're riding, like when you're like riding passenger to me? Like, is that nerve-wracking to you just being in a car?
No, because I will here's the thing. This is the way I feel about cars, is that you're in a chair that could kill someone.
Yes.
So as long as I'm not doing the killing, I'm pretty chilled out. Yeah. I've been in the car with people who I know can't drive. I like when I got in the car, I was like, this is a bad idea. This guy is this guy is about as nearsighted as they come.
Right. So yeah, I'd say it's more just you just like the idea of being chauffeured. You piece of shit. No,
I mean, maybe, but I
also
think that there's just the level of responsibility and the level of like probability that something bad will happen is just so much more likely in a car than it even is on a plane. Because if you think about it, it's like if you take 5 flights in an entire year, you know, what's the likelihood that this flight is going down? Whereas if you drive every day, you're at least going to have some scares.
You're way more likely to die in a car accident than a plane crash. I almost called it a plane accident. Yeah,
it is an accident usually.
When one plane bumps up into the back of another one, you know, a little.
Can I tell you? I saw a whole documentary about that, and you would not believe how many people lived. two planes
hitting midair,
coming right at each other. The radio, there was like something wrong with the frequency on one, and the other one was like having some other technical issue, so they just didn't see each other until this last second. And we think of planes as like a slow flying thing, but they're super fast.
Oh no, they're crazy fast.
And so the crash happened so fast, and I don't remember if they were both trying to land at the same. I'm positive they were trying to land at the same airport. That's the only reason two planes would.
I could see that.
But then they cut across each other, and basically the wing of one went into the other plane, and then they both crashed. And eyewitnesses on the scene said they saw a guy. This was like, this is only funny because so many people survived. They saw a guy that was like still in his seat. So like something out of a Bad Boys movie, still in his seat. The seat had like separated from the plane, had skidded in the field and just like skidded across, was still on a little bit of fire, and he just undid his seatbelt and walked away.
Fuck it, my hero. Hell yeah.
That dude wanted no parts of whatever was coming next.
Be even better if he was sleeping. Like he was like, "Oh, here already."
Already, okay. Looks like they burned that meal, whatever that was.
Airline food, am I right?
Yeah, but no. So that I think that you're right. That's I can't imagine if I was going to try to fly a plane. I would be like, why are there so many buttons? Either fly or don't. There should just be a fly button. There should just be one button that says fly.
Yeah. This button says New York. This button says L.A. You push one way, push one the other. Yeah, no, you'd be a wreck with that. But no, you are way more likely to die in a car accident than in a plane crash. And I think it's like your most accidents more than likely happen within like 3 miles of home.
Yeah.
For most people.
Yeah, when you let your guard down.
Because I think usually that's... Well, yeah, I think you let your guard down, and that's when you're like, oh, fuck, I gotta go! And you burn out your driveway to get the hell out, going towards work. I think is why it's that, maybe.
Or it's the end of an election, you decide to drag race a stranger.
Yeah. All day, apparently. Oh, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm just gonna drive around Brooklyn and just get into gonna race for pinks, baby. That's what I'm gonna be doing all day. Woo, Biden.
This is how I can tell I'm getting older. Not only am I not out there with them, but as I was hearing the second hour of it, I was like, they wasting good gas money.
Yeah, man. I have that thought all the time. Come on, man. I don't know. I also like it's interesting with all the, maybe we don't want to talk about this because it's topical news and this will be already a couple weeks after, but the interesting thing with all of the celebrations that happen, which like I'm not trying to rain anyone's parade, but like we talked about a little bit ago, but it's like I was immediately seeing videos of like, we're all getting together and we're hanging out now, and seeing in every single video, every story I saw posted, people weren't wearing their masks. I'm like, guys, you guys were the ones who were angry the whole time. Like, we can't now be like, pandemic over now. Like, no, it's not. It's very much not.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of being so excited you run out into the middle of the street to scream, but you are in traffic now.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. I hope people are celebrating responsibly, I guess, which again, this is going to be in the future of them doing it. So this does nothing for anyone. It's been a wild weekend. It's been a weird one. It's been a strange weekend just because like my girlfriend had to get tested for COVID. She got exposed at work. Which she's a nurse, but it was like a patient that she had who then was negative but tested positive later, and she had all of her gear on. That's why she was fine, but they had her get tested. And when you're waiting on that result, and it's not even for me, but it was like if she has it, then like I got to get tested. And then, being a substitute teacher here too, then it's like, well, then I got to talk to like the contact tracer person for the Mitchell County Health, and it's just like it immediately I was just making a list of stuff in my head, being like, I hope I don't have to do all this shit. Like I also hope my girlfriend's not sick, because that would be devastating. But also, I don't want to do this stuff. This is more people I got to call and deal with. Also, I really hope my girlfriend's fine, but I don't want to make these phone calls.
But also paperwork.
Shit. So, she's fine, by the way. Her test came back negative. She's fine. But
you don't want to leave people on a cliffhanger like that.
Yeah, you don't. Well, and I just had a couple people being like, oh, do you maybe want like a friend being like, hey, do you want to have like, beers in the yard or whatever and hang out for a second, or talked about helping my brother with his house or something a little bit, because those are people who, are take all the precautions too. And he was just like, hey, do you want to do something tomorrow? And I'm just like, well, I got to wait and make sure COVID's not in my house. And he's like, yes, good idea. Thank you.
Oh man. It's also, the thing that I think I've just been anxious about is that to what you're saying and to like what we were talking about before, I'm probably going to go home for Thanksgiving, which means I'll get on my first flight of the whole year.
Yeah.
And so it's just had me thinking about flights a lot, like just about the safety and just about like, man,
you're daydreaming about flights. You're having these planes.
Because I normally love to fly. I really do. You buckle up for a movie that's not going to be that good, but it's free, so you don't have to stress about it.
Yeah, I fell asleep during Star Wars Solo. One of my last flights. That's the last movie I watched in a plane, was Solo. At the beginning of it was very bad. Then I fell asleep, woke up, and there was some cool shit happening. I'm like, hey, this movie got good while I was sleeping.
While I was gone, y'all really turned this around.
You guys really read the room.
Yeah. Yeah, quick. We're losing him.
No, he's sleeping, man. Get Donald Glover in here. Come on. Let's get...
Yeah, we got him back. Don Glover, nice haircut.
I missed his introduction entirely. Woke up and just like, oh, Lando Calrissian's here. Oh, they're flying from something. Neat.
Yeah. Dude, so I don't know if you saw this. This is actually pretty old story overall. But there was this couple that was on a flight, and so this was back before the Face ID, right? When it was still just the finger, right? Just the fingerprint on the phone to unlock it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right? If you wanted to have those extra.
Until you said phone, I was like, Face ID for what?
Yeah, no.
I'm like, I've never had to scan anything to get on a flight. Like,
yeah, like
aside from my ticket.
I'm just saying, like, this is how you know it was like a few years ago, right?
Right.
And
yeah.
So my man fell asleep, right? And his wife, while he's asleep, grabbed his phone, took his finger, and then unlocked his phone with his sleeping hand, right? And then when she unlocked the phone, she found everything. She found all the homegirls in there, found everything, and then she started beating his ass so hard they had to land the plane.
Wait, was this someone you knew, or was this a story?
No. This is a news story.
Okay, because I remember this now. I rember.
Yeah.
Once you said they had to land the plane, I was like, I remember hearing about that story.
Because then this is what's so funny to me about it, right? Is that so she already found everything out. So he probably been sleeping pretty peacefully for a minute because it took her time to like read through everything.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like she didn't just open the phone and then just start beating him. She wanted to get all the evidence,
right,
you know?
Yeah.
And so she's delving in. She's finding whole friends she didn't know about, conversations. She's reading through. She's getting paragraphs in, right?
Yeah.
So this is the other reason. The other reason it makes me laugh is because like you as the dude don't know what she knows, right? But she is so angry that she's not even like playing the you know when you're just caught when someone's just caught you and so they ask you some leading questions so that you can tell on yourself. Yeah. She's not even doing that.
It's doing the Columbo, just like so. One more thing. There's one more thing that I want to ask you about. Who's
just waiting to catch
Janice?
you?
Who is who is this Janice, and how do you know her?
And so,
she looks like a hoe. I just want to say.
Columbo got all the receipts. Yeah. And so then, obviously there's not like a full-on transcript of what happened, but from the report that I saw, she basically woke him up by beating him, right? So then this dude is sleeping peacefully, and he just feels hands just slap it, right?
Hi, honey.
So just slap, and then questions in between the slapping. But he doesn't know, like, not only is he going to try to lie first, but he probably doesn't even know what she's talking about because he doesn't know that she knows. So now she's like, boom, slap. Who is Janice? And then he's like, huh? And then she's like, don't huh me, because in her mind, he's already lying. But he genuinely is coming out of sleep. So he's going huh as like, I'm waking up back from unconsciousness.
My first thought is like, anytime I've fallen asleep on a plane and woken up, it takes a second to be like, where the fuck am I? So now add slapping to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Now add slapping.
Where am I? Who are you? What's happening? What year is it? Who's Janice? That's
right. And from the report that I saw, not only did she have form, but he was also
in the reports. Really good form. She squared up.
I mean, it didn't say she had good form. It just said that she was beating him handily. So
the report just says she was winning.
Yeah. Oh, easily. He wasn't even covering up well. He needs some lessons. Just some general boxing lessons about your guard, because she's breaking through the guard with uppercuts. All right.
While seated in a plane aisle. That's incredibly difficult.
Oh, no.
Was she above him?
This is the best part. So
Okay.
then huh?
I was gonna. Was she standing or was she sitting still in the seat next to him, or did she get up?
No. Okay, not only has she hadn't got up yet. All right.
Oh, okay. So that's the thing. So that is some good punches if she's able to to really fuck him up seated next to him. That's an awkward way to hit.
And I'm pretty sure she had like I don't have any evidence for this, but I'm pretty sure she had like fully planned it out how she was going to start. Like, it wasn't an emotional thing. She thought through, like every sentence she was reading, she was thinking through how she was going to beat this dude's ass. So I'm pretty sure she lowered the seat back table just to box him in a little bit more. All right.
I like that, or I like the idea of her calmly putting it up in preparation for ass beating, of being like, oh well, hang on, I got to do this, and let me undo my seatbelt, and you're gonna need some help, so I'm gonna go ahead and call the attendant now, and then.
That's it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I feel like she calmly raised her seat back table and calmly lowered his, and just was setting up everything nicely, right?
Put some coffee on it too.
Probably turned his reading light on just so he'd be blinded. So then not only is she beating his ass, but he is in a window seat. So he's fully boxed in. Yeah. He can't get out. Yeah. And so then it's not like, no one really knows what's going on when any fight on a plane starts. Okay? So there's like a commotion, but he's not even like yelling like stop hitting me or anything yet, because he's just so out of it, right? And then
he just wants to know if they're there yet.
Yeah, so then finally, wouldn't that be great if it was like you start getting beat, but you've also landed, so you'll be able to get away soon. Nah, they were mid-flight. You're 10,000 feet stuck.
Sorry, you're getting beat across 2 time zones.
Yeah, you're about to join the 6 feet deep, mile high club.
Not sure how that math works out, but it's not good for you. It's not good for you.
Yeah, it's not going to be great. I think it ends with you being thrown off the plane.
6 feet deep, mile high club.
And so she is like, she's like wailing on him, right?
Right.
And then I don't know if the flight attendant saw first or a passenger saw first, but then they like got involved, like, ma'am. You know what I mean? Because like the thing that's funny to me about stuff like this is that no matter how like trashy someone is behaving, someone at their job still has to say ma'am or sir.
Yeah.
Like, it always cracks me up. Like, it's like even Waffle House fights, they'll be like, sir, and then they start swinging.
Listen,
then the employee starts fighting.
Which I think it makes the punches more righteous if you say sir while doing it. It really, I don't know. It adds an extra level of stank to it. Just like, oh yeah, sir.
Right?
You know, it really.
And so then
the combination of respectful and disrespectful in one is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Because like this is my thing. So then, people are kind of trying to get her off of him and everything. But like, I don't know if she's just that strong, or people are not quite trying to break the fight up good enough. Because there's no way. This is the thing. As someone who watches fights, I love martial arts. I watch UFC, everything.
Yeah.
Refs rarely have a problem breaking up a fight between two big guys. So it shouldn't be that hard to break up a fight between a person who's not fighting back and a person who's trying to fight in a middle seat. Like that,
right. Well, but
that seems pretty straightforward.
In a plane, though, those people didn't agree ahead of time that if they get broken up, they have to go to their separate corners. It's a different set of rules that have been laid out. Because really, the main rule is, hey, don't fight on the plane, and already that's being ignored. So now any other form of decorum of someone coming in the middle being like, hey, now, that shit's gone. Sorry, they're already fighting in the air. Like gods.
But But I mean, this is my thing: there's at least 2 flight attendants on this plane,
Right?
Because it was a decently sized plane, right? So between 2 people,
Right.
and what I hope is an air marshal, that's proof that air marshal wasn't on that plane.
Oh, for sure. Or he's cheating on his wife.
So then they cannot seem to stop her. Like she's just in the pocket. She's just landing nice clean strikes. And then I can also tell you, as someone who's tried to break up fights before, that sometimes they're too messy and you end up getting hurt as the person trying to break up the fight. So I can tell if someone's beating another person well enough, you don't want to get involved. You're like, hey, look, especially like I'm pretty sure that you are now slowly. So initially, when you see people hitting people, you're usually on the side of the person being hit because no one likes violence,
right.
You know? But then as she is yelling out more accusations, it does kind of start to seem slightly more even. Yeah, I mean? Like,
right. I mean,
like
most of the time, if I see a woman start punching a man, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm like, he probably deserves this, but I probably need to do something. You know, like,
yeah, like you try to break it up because you're like, in the off chance that this is just an abusive woman, let's you know, let's break this up.
I don't like seeing people get hurt out and about, but if it's a woman going, it says, I'm like, he probably did something, but not saying it's worth him getting punched. I'm not saying violence is going to solve it, but I guarantee there's a story. Like,
yeah, if she's in the middle of screaming, the best years of my life, da 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 da, I gave you 2 kids, da 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 da. It's like, oof.
Yeah.
You start to be a little gentler with your declarations to stop. Like, oh no, ma'am, don't, please, don't do it. And so then they cannot get her off of him, and I guess they just tell the pilot. I guess someone stops trying to break up the fight and just runs to the cockpit and is like, hey, look, we have a situation. Yeah. I can't even pass out the snacks. All right.
Listen, if we don't land this plane, she's going to bring us all down.
She is going to use him to beat us. She's going
to put a fist through one of the windows, and then this whole cabin's going to get depressurized.
And so yeah, they landed, and I mean, I
do remember
almost certain she got arrested upon landing.
Oh,
it's like
I thought you were saying she got arrested upon, and I'm like, that is not a phrase. That is not.
No. No, I'm pretty sure they were waiting for her. Because you can't. Because this is also the thing. She also must have been beating his ass as they were landing. So imagine you already think you hate flying, right? Imagine you can see out the window the ground getting a little closer, and you just count down in your head. All right, 15, 14, 13. We gotta land soon. And then imagine this. So she's beating him, right? Mm-hmm. She's beating him, and then they land. And so he's like, oh, thank goodness I'm saved. But then, because they weren't supposed to be at this airport anyway, they can't get to the gate. They need to wait for a gate.
Right. Well, and
so now he's basically just getting beat in a car.
Well, and even if they get to the gate, like I know this wasn't even the airport they're going to, but there's always people who are quick to just rush out and clog up the hallway too. So now you're just going to get beat while people are walking by watching it.
Yeah. Oof. And then, okay, so
you got to say thank you to the captain while you're getting punched in the head? No. Thank you, guys. Ow. Thank you.
Thank you. You good for nothing. Thank you.
Yeah, she even does it too. I told you. Thank you, guys.
You do such great work.
Yeah.
So look, this is insane. This next story I was not here for. I wasn't on this flight, but my buddy Al from Chicago said that I could tell it because he was on the flight, and it's. I'm sure that it didn't have to get this crazy. It's basically just one big misunderstanding. But a guy was sitting in what I think he must have been like first class for it to transpire this way. So yeah, I think he was in first class.
Because everyone was throwing money at each other.
No. You'll see. But basically, this guy on his flight was sitting in the front of the plane, if not first class, as close to. And this guy falls asleep during the flight. And while he's asleep, he's like out, right? So and I don't know I don't know if he has a condition or whatever, but he's so out that even when the craziness starts, he's still out. Like he's like, I don't know if he took a thing to sleep through the flight or something, but he's completely gone out of the picture.
Okay.
And the flight is about halfway there. So it's a flight from I think it was from Chicago to Portland. And so they're halfway there. So they've been in the air for 2.5 hours or something. And at one point, I don't know if they're trying to gain altitude. I don't know why, but the plane sort of tilts, upward. And as the plane is slightly tilting upward, a foot rolls through the aisle, just bouncing, rolling on its side, like a foot in a shoe rolls all the way to the back. And so everyone seems to see it.
Yeah. And
it's quiet at first.
And it's checking. Well, then they start checking with each other, did you fucking see a foot go by?
So everyone is calm at first because they're all to your point, did you see that foot? Everything, right? Then
I'm just not getting like air sickness or something, right? You.
Yeah, you saw a whole
foot right?
in a shoe
you
roll
saw
by,
that, right?
So then look, God is a genius, all right, because the comedic timing of this could not be pulled off any better. So as the foot's rolling, it's not until it hits the very back with a thud that people start screaming, right? So this lady in the back that was probably next to the foot, and that's why she screamed. Because everyone else, it was just a moment. But for her, this is her life now.
Well, and you can maybe convince yourself that maybe it's just a shoe. But when it's got the thud of a foot in it,
yeah,
that makes it more real. Oh, no. It's got foot in it.
So then, okay, so then it plops next to her. She sees it, looks down, screams, right? So as she starts screaming, everyone else on the plane that saw it is like, yes, that must have been a foot. That was definitely a foot then. And so then they start screaming.
Well, if you don't mind me, I will join in the hysteria.
Right? So you know how the flight attendants usually, especially on a fairly sized flight, they usually sit basically in this back compartment where all the food and all this stuff is. So then the flight attendant comes forward from the back and is looking for everyone stay calm, what's happening, right? Steps on the foot. And then she looks down and goes, oh my God. And so then she's like, you can tell when someone's trying to compartmentalize all their feelings, but also be professional. So then she is is someone okay? Is someone missing a foot?
Yeah.
And so then people kind of stop screaming now because now it's it's not it's calmed down, but now at least someone is trying to take care of it.
Right.
And so the woman that the foot was next to is still hysterical. But then the flight attendant's is anyone is this a prank? What is this? This isn't funny. Is someone missing their foot? And then whole time this guy in the first class is still asleep. Mm-hmm. And
I'm guessing he's missing a foot.
So then then as she's like making these same like proclamations of like, you know, like, because now she's like in that space, I guess, where she's gone from like scared herself to like a little like mad. And so then as she's walking to the plane, just repeating herself, she's like, yeah, this isn't funny. There can be serious consequences for like doing stuff like this on a plane. Like this isn't a joke or anything.
Yeah.
Is someone
you can't
missing a
travel with any fruit or vegetables or foots. You can't. We check that. You can't have it.
That is overhead luggage at best.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Do you have any foot or vegetables to declare?
So then, as she gets closer to the front, she ends up waking that guy up, and this guy goes, "My foot, my foot," which doesn't help.
No,
because
it just sounds like someone's foot fell off. Yeah.
Yeah, now people think his foot was taken from him or cut off or whatever. So now people start screaming again.
Oh, Jesus.
Then, and she still doesn't have the foot. She's just walking around looking to see if somebody's like snickering or something. Like she didn't pick up the foot or anything or the shoe. But like then she gets the guy, and you know, logical explanation. The dude has a prosthetic foot, up to the ankle, and for more room when he's flying and taking a nap, he takes it off. Mm-hmm. But in this particular instance, the way that the plane gained altitude, it went a little bit to the side and then up. So it perfectly dumped his foot into the aisle and then rolled it back.
I also just don't think if I saw a foot land next to me, and it's like you would be able to tell it was prosthetic. I don't know if that I'd be like, ah! Like I don't think that would be my first. I'd be like, oh fuck. A foot.
I mean,
like,
you're a reasonable person, but like all
fair.
type of manner of people fly. Like I feel like imagine
that's true.
Imagine if this is your first flight.
That's true.
This is your first flight ever.
That would be
and
great.
Just feet are rolling next to you.
Does this happen on everyone? Does this happen on every flight? Are there limbs rolling about?
Oh,
that's wild. And then he was also arrested once they landed. No.
Man.
For public nuisance. No.
Just imagine. Imagine you're like my foot is like, sir, oh my God, sir, it's your foot. Are you okay? He's like, where's my foot? And now you have to be like, it pretty much rolled next to the bathroom. I'll go get it.
Yeah. Oh, it's back there. And he's like, oh, it's in coach now. Let them keep it. It's been sullied by their grubby fingers.
Imagine what you would think someone was doing though, if you, because you know how they have the curtain that doesn't do anything, the curtain between first class and coach,
right? Yeah,
and then under that curtain just spits a foot.
Yeah, you'd start to think it's some sort of like, oh, like I get it. The rich people get away with murder. We're in international airspace or some shit. So now this is where
just sending body parts and carcasses for the rest of us.
It's where the Epsteins of the world get to just dismember people at the front of the plane. I get what the curtain's for now.
Champagne and dismemberments. Oh man. But yeah, I just, I want to experience flights again.
Now I want to know, is it are you specifically missing experiencing flights, or are you experiencing anything? Because I don't even particularly like flying that much. Hell yeah, I could go for a flight right now just because it would be something else.
I can't remember what country, but they're offering flights right now that just are, there's no destination. You're just in the air for 2 hours.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, I couldn't. I don't miss flying that much. I like for it to end up somewhere. I don't want to I don't want to just sit in an elevator for 3 hours. I'd rather, end up somewhere.
Imagine that's the flight you get a migraine on. The flight to nowhere that's not going to land for another hour.
Well, or what if you're doing that flight and you're like, there's a fucking baby on this one too? Why? Like what? It's already a weird idea to like have to fly the baby anywhere, but to go nowhere, you brought the baby?
That's so funny. I'm trying to sleep, and your baby is keeping me awake on my 2-hour flight back home from home.
Yeah. I have some flight like credits still sitting because I was supposed to come to New York at the beginning of the year, right before. Remember, it was the week New York shut down in the initial pandemic stuff. But so I was going to come out and stay with you and our buddy Steve Malloy. I was going to come out for a bit, and then I remember you and Steve both called me being like, "Yeah, I don't know if now's a good time. It seems to be getting a little weird here with this whole coronavirus thing." And then it was like, I literally canceled. I was like, yeah, I'll push it back. And I delayed the flight. And then it was just like, oh, by the way, New York's closed. Don't come. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, I chose that timing well, I guess.
Yeah, this would actually be a very different podcast if you had come, because you probably would have had to stay. Probably would have been like living here the entire time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we would just be recording in person then. We wouldn't have to deal with with FaceTimes and stuff. Yeah, I don't know, but I think I still have those credits through next year, or into like when I canceled it. So, if that ever becomes an option again, maybe I'll use it. But
yeah,
fuck, it keeps not looking that way. And it's embarrassing that Iowa, a very spread out state where it's very easy to not be near people, we're like one of the worst places in the nation right now. So I don't know. Like, it's the point of having all these cornfields between us if we're all just going to get together and touch mouths. Like, I don't understand it.
That's what the Midwest gets for being so friendly.
Yeah, it shouldn't be so easy to find each other in all these corn mazes that we have, but I don't know.
Man, I also think for me too, the movies when I was flying were like, I would try a movie that I would never watch on land in a flight.
Oh yeah. Well, for me it was always like, oh, if I fall asleep during this, that's fine, because I don't normally do that if I'm watching something, at home. It's usually something I want to watch. But in a plane where it's like, well, I'm literally just passing time, so I don't really give a shit what this is. Mm-hmm. I am conscious though of just like, has this one got like sex in it? Because there's like people next to me and like it's on the back of the seat. You're always...
Yeah. So my thing is, especially on flights to Australia, which I've had a few now, and so those are long flights there, and
how long
sometimes
is that
shorter
flight?
Flights back.
How is that from?
Like 16 hours.
Jesus. See, I've never done a flight like that, and
yeah, I think it's 16 from New York. It's actually only like, I think it's only like 12 from LA.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Because I always thought it was like Australia to LA was like one of the longest flights, but I suppose that makes sense.
And when I fly to Australia, I get work done with movies.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
Oof. I watched Cabaret for the first time and the entire Pitch Perfect trilogy. I got off that plane singing.
Yeah, man. Wow. What an interesting marathon to have.
I mean, you also only have as many options as they give you unless you brought your own iPad.
For sure,
so like,
yeah.
I think Qantas just had a deal with somebody.
With Anna Kendrick.
I'm going to be right back just because my computer's about to die, so I'm going to...
Motherfucker, I've told you to plug it in before we start. It's annoying to edit around. He always does. Yeah, I'm not going to cut it out. This time I'm not going to cut it out. I'm going to let you guys know what I deal with. He'll just suddenly, in the middle of a thought, we'll be talking about something, and he'll just go. He's got to do something else. He's got to plug something in. He's got to take a call. He's got to go grab something. He's foolish. He's foolish, and he's inconsiderate. And he's putting his headphones back on right now. Hey, buddy. I wasn't talking about you.
You're a monster. I don't don't know what you were saying, but I can tell you for a fact it wasn't true.
I didn't say anything, man. I was just waiting patiently for you to plug your computer in the middle of us talking.
Oh, man.
What? Say something. What?
It's just it's one of those things where man, I wondered about a lot of people if I met them at different times, if we would have the relationship that we have. And
oh, you say? Are you thinking if we met now we wouldn't be friends?
No, I don't think that. I actually wonder. I think there are certain people you can meet too early, though. Like, I can tell you that when I was in college, some of my best friends to this day, right? Mm-hmm. This still cracks me up. So 3 of my best friends from college, when I met each of them, I did not like them. I did not like them at all. I it was more than I just didn't like them. I weirdly had a bone to pick with them. And then we got over it, and 2 of us joined the same fraternity, and then the third one, we all, I want there to come a day where we can all just chill again, because we all live in different places now. Like two of them are still in Louisiana, and one, I think he's in Mississippi now or something, and I'm in New York, but it's crazy. And we've had a conversation about it. Like one of my really good friends, I remember when initially when I saw him, we had a class together. That's how we met.
Yeah.
And it was this orientation class or something. And I said, hey, because, just trying to be friendly, make friends. Mm-hmm. I don't know anybody. He didn't seem to know anybody. He looked at me, and then he just turned away. And in my head, I was like, this bastard, I can't believe the nerve of a person to look at you and not acknowledge, because it was just a deadpan face. Mm-hmm. And then when he tells it from his perspective, he had been having a terrible day, right? Yeah. He had been having the worst day, and he was darting around looking for, I think somebody was supposed to bring him something. Basically I don't know if he hadn't prepared to basically come to college that day. It was because, we're all from Louisiana.
Right, yeah.
So we all had varying degrees of travel, and some people only had to travel for an hour. Mm-hmm. So I think that he was looking for someone that was supposed to bring him something, and he was just looking around, darting around, right? So then when I said, hey, it was in the middle of him looking around. So he's I didn't even hear you. I'm just in a panic, and I'm sweating. And then I look, and as I'm panning with my eyes across the room, you say, hey, and I just turn back around, and then we didn't even get to strike up that conversation for a week, and I hated that dude. I was like, what a monster. Because in that moment, he reaffirmed every fear that you have when you're trying to meet new people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You'd be like, oh, this is why you don't introduce yourself. This is why you don't put yourself out there.
Then he apologized profusely. He was like, oh, man, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I was looking around for people to make friends with, too. And then we ended up becoming friends a week later, right. And I was like, this dude's the best. Then the other dude, we had some sort of weird misunderstanding when we met, where we got in an argument, but then we worked it out, and then ended up going to the cafeteria together and having lunch together, and then our friendship sort of started there. But then the third dude is Donovan, who I've mentioned multiple times in multiple scenarios.
I want to meet him. I've heard a lot of stories about Donovan, but he's one of your friends I haven't met yet.
Dude, you'll love Donovan.
Is there a dog too?
Donovan, I was trying to. Yeah. Oh, now there's a dog. Yeah. I guess the dog just heard that Biden won. It's losing it. I swear, between burnouts and dogs, we're gonna get this podcast recorded.
Yeah, no, I'm getting a lot of fun Foley from your end of the, the recording.
It's what it's like to be in Brooklyn.
Yeah, but I
just probably a dog chasing the cars.
The dog's winning the street race.
Yeah. So then, when it came to Tyler, who was like the like one of my first friends that I made, he was the one that we had lunch together and everything, and then I would go over to Tyler's room, and he was roommates with Donovan, right? Mm-hmm. And so Donovan and I did not vibe at first. It was really interesting how it played out, because in my head, Donovan was just like this, like I just projected so much onto him because Donovan is like so many things that I am not. So I was just like, this is a big dude thinks he's so cool and stuff, like all this stuff like this, right? And stuff that didn't even make sense. And then he thought that I was crazy. He thought I was like legit out of my mind.
Right.
And then because he also hung out with Tyler, because Tyler was his roommate, I would like just be talking or like telling stories the way that we talk, and I will like tell you a story, and he'll be like, this guy's, something's wrong with him. Something's not right. I don't like it. And this is the thing that turned him off of me. I think I could be wrong. I'll have to ask him about this, or maybe he'll text me how wrong I am if he listens to this episode.
Yeah, does he listen? How good of a friend is he?
Yeah, he listens.
Support the show. Yeah. I'm just creating drama for no reason.
Basically, there was a day where I was hanging out with Tyler and Donovan and everything, and earlier that day, I had seen, which is I've never seen it since. It's crazy. I had seen two squirrels like running after each other, and they looked like they were about to like mate. Like it looked like some sort of like mating thing, because they weren't fighting over anything, but they were like running around each other and then rubbing up together and then running up the tree and everything. Yeah. And then just when it seemed like those squirrels were about to get busy, an eagle swooped in and snatched one of them.
The ultimate cock block.
Yeah. And so, and the squirrel was fighting, and it drew like a small crowd. Like there were 10 of us who like were like, oh my gosh.
Imagine as a human, you're about to fuck someone. You and another human, you guys are in the bedroom and you're ready to get busy, and then suddenly she gets killed by a tiger.
That doesn't care about you.
Doesn't care about you at all.
The tiger just came and went for her. So
it's gonna take a few seconds. You're just gonna go, whoa.
Because I'm younger and I'm not as self-aware and probably a list of other things, I didn't tell that story the way I just told it to you.
Right.
I told it from the shell-shocked perspective of someone who just saw it happen.
Okay.
So then when I came to the lunch table, I sat down and I was like, Tyler or somebody was like, hey, man, how's your day going? What you been up to? Like, how are classes? And instead of addressing any of those questions, I just went, yeah, I saw two squirrels trying to bang, and then an eagle came out of nowhere. And I'm pretty sure one of them's dead. And the lunch table was silent. And I'm not self-aware enough to know that I've just like kind of ruined everyone's day. And so I'm just sitting there with like the reality of like what I witnessed. And Donovan is like, this guy, there's something wrong. I don't like it. This is bad. No. I'm trying to tell y'all now.
If that was the only view I had of you, yeah, like that's how you write a character in a TV show that you want to have be off-putting, is you have them walk up to a table and just rattle off some random not fun things.
I definitely learned how to clear a room before I learned how to work a room. So,
and this is my that's good. This is my friend Josh. Did you know goat testicles are called Rocky Mountain oysters? Okay, well.
Because I also wasn't looking at anyone when I said it, so it just made it that much more like terrifying, creepy, whatever. So then Donovan was like very put off of me, and then
yeah, you got that. Josh, you walk around with that school shooter vibe. That's what you got going.
And then I made it worse because he I don't know. I think he felt like because he thought I was crazy, he needed to be a little bit more not. I'm trying to think of how to put it. I think he felt like he needed to show he wasn't scared of me, which is already not necessary because he's like 6'4". Yeah, he's a big dude. I'm not. I think he thought I would bite him or something because I'm not a big man. So I don't know why you would be scared of me.
Well, someone who walks in with that energy though is probably into swords.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you gotta watch that kid.
Yeah. So then basically there was one more instance where I did a crazy thing, and then he matched me horribly. So I was alone with Donovan in Tyler's room because we were both waiting for Tyler to get back so we could go to a concert.
Was it like a dorm?
And yeah, it's a dorm, right? So
because there was an apartment, but you guys decided to sit in his bedroom.
No. It's a dorm.
I'm just helping paint the scene, buddy. You're good.
Yeah. And so basically, I shown up to Tyler's dorm room, and then Donovan answered, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Tyler's not here yet, but I guess if you want to wait for him, are you going to the concert too?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I guess if you want to wait for him, you can wait here." And so I sat down and waited, and then he was sitting on the bed, and then I don't know if he said something or he did something where I was like, I'm not going to let this dude intimidate me. All right. I'm going to do something crazy to show him I'm not scared of him.
Okay. So this one you're doing on purpose.
This one I did on purpose.
The previous crazy was just you. This one, though, is an intent to be crazy. Okay.
Yeah. So then Kanye's 808 Heartbreak had just come out, right? And I worked at the college radio station, so I got an early copy of it.
Okay.
So as I was listening to it, I played it loud and I sang this one lyric because I was like, all right, this will really get him, right? And it's the thing from Say You Will where Kanye's like, when I grab your neck, I touch your soul, right? And so then I just sort of low sang that. And David just stared at me, and I stared at him, and I was like, I felt like I should have said something, like I should have said, "What's up?" Yeah, but I didn't say anything. Then he was like, "You know what? I'm not gonna let this little dude intimidate me. All right, I'm tired of his crazy ass, and I'm gonna show him I'm not scared of him." So then we both get a text from Tyler like, "Hey, I'm not coming back to the room. Just meet me there." So then we head out together. As we go to head out together, he's locking the door room, he's locking his door, and I'm like, "Ow!" And he turns around, he's like, "What happened?" I was like, "Oh, I think a mosquito bit me or something," because I'm really itchy all of a sudden and everything. And he just looks around, eyes wide, darting, and then sees the mosquito and goes, "You hurt my friend!" And then he punched the wall as hard as he could. And then when he moved his hand, there was a dead mosquito on the wall. And I was like, oh, yeah, I don't want these problems. That's terrifying. And now, months later, when we're actually all friends, like me, Eric, Tyler, Donovan, we had this conversation where I explained why I did what I did, and he explained why he did what he did. Yeah. And it all made sense after that.
No, it didn't. I can tell you right now, it did not make sense.
It did. It wrapped it up with a bow. The story is perfect.
Absolutely does not. It does not wrap it up.
It landed perfectly, like a plane.
Well, they do most of the time. So wait, then after he punched the mosquito, then you were... Because all you said was, I don't want these problems. Were you guys friends after that, or did you just decide I'm not going to try to intimidate him with Kanye lyrics anymore? I'm going to give him some distance. You just crazied each other into friendship. This is two people enacting Stockholm syndrome on each other. Like you guys held each other hostage with your separate crazy.
Yeah.
And then I guess we're friends now.
Yeah, because I feel like we still weren't friends for maybe one more week after that happened, because I was like, when he punched the wall, I was like, oh wow, that was extra. Oh geez, because it shook the wall. He's a big man, and then when he moved his hand and the mosquito was there, I was like, because he didn't even say like got it, or he didn't even seem excited. He was just like, he punched the mosquito and then was like, let's go. And so then I was like, yeah, this dude is crazy. I don't want to have anything. This is terrifying. And then maybe after a week or so, when we were all hanging out and were realizing we were becoming friends, like we were realizing that we meet up after classes and we spend most of our evenings hanging out, that we were like, you know what's crazy is that when we met, I actually didn't like you for this reason.
You know what's crazy? Everything we fucking did. Wasn't that crazy? That thing you did with the Kanye lyrics, that was weird, super weird, really weird thing to do to another human.
Yeah, but I had explained why I did it, which was like, look, I couldn't just have you being taller than me and like running around here.
I know it'll sort out this height difference. Some Kanye West. That'll really sort out the height differential. Problem solved. Because I'm going to say, when I grab your neck, I grab your soul, or whatever. That'll knock him down about 6 inches. That'll do it.
Yeah, because crazy has no height.
Exactly. Oh man. Well, I'm glad you guys made it. I'm speechless.
Yeah. I'm glad that we made it. I'm glad the neighborhood is happy. I'm glad that I'm glad they're still doing burnouts. They still have gas money.
Yeah, I heard that going again.
Biden Harris 2020. We out here.
Jesus Christ. We've been getting a lot of emails and like reviews lately about people just saying they appreciate my genuine concern for your stories. I'm excited when we start putting up the video elements that people can see me in real time struggle with some of these stories. Because all I could do for a minute there was just cover my face. Well, that's interesting. Did you ever? I feel like you and I just became friends very quickly. We were kind of fast friends. Did you ever have any moment where you thought you'd have to intimidate me? Was there ever a moment you're like, I maybe gotta bring this guy down a peg with some dark lyrics?
No, you only got like 2-3 inches on me, so I think we were Gucci.
Fair enough.
I feel like that's a primal thing. It's like I have to show this person I'm not scared of them, and I'm just gonna be crazy.
No. I mean, you're right to an extent, but just not the way you're saying it. Because I do get it when you meet people like that, and you do want to let them know like you're not going to take their shit or whatever. But like, I don't. It's just your tactic that's really throwing me off. Is they just like, I'm going to put on this song and I'm going to say this one. I'm going to say this one lyric. I'm gonna mutter a threatening song lyric to get his attention. As I'm sitting in his dorm, I'm gonna go to his dorm room where he lives and feels safe, and I'm gonna mutter a threatening song lyric to this guy just to let him know I'm not scared of him.
So I should also point out that he actually hadn't he actually hadn't done anything expressly intimidating until the mosquito thing, which is kind of after two of my things. So, in retrospect, he didn't do anything wrong.
No, you came out swinging with Crazy Bud.
The first Crazy was completely unintentional. I saw the thing and then I was shooken up by it.
Yeah, that was you just had squirrel sex PTSD, so that's what happened there. The second
it was like watching the documentary without David Attenborough. It's like nothing was cute about it, nothing was cool about it.
It was
just sex and murder.
It was just nature at its most primal. Someone's gonna get fucked and someone's gonna get got. That's how it goes in these nature docs, baby. Oh my God. Yeah, okay. I don't know how much more time we want to spend on this, but walk me through just again. What caused you to do the Kanye thing? What made you
I don't remember if he had said or done anything extra. I think I just felt his vibe off of that cafeteria moment, and then I was like,
how separate were these instances? How
like days. Like days.
Okay. So you walked into his dorm being like, he's still weird about the squirrel thing. I better threaten him. Oh, maybe I came off too strong before. I know what'll fix it.
This is all I'm saying. All right, I'm just. Jeez. Okay. Look, this is.
I'm sorry. You broke me with this one, bud. I don't know. It is.
I was
much like those guys racing around your block. This is just running circles in my brain, and it is continually fascinating me.
So look, I was coming from a place where I wasn't going to his dorm room in my mind. I was going to meet Tyler to go do something with Tyler that I didn't even know Donovan was also going to do.
Right.
So then in my mind, I'm not just sitting in his room to intimidate him. I'm sitting in his room and I'm like, all right, if we're going to keep both being around Tyler, then like
we must fight for his love.
Yeah, I mean, I can't have you sort of like treat me like I'm crazy. So let me be so crazy you won't say anything.
Right.
And that's what I did. And then when he punched that mosquito, the fact that he actually killed that mosquito was like, I still think about that.
Yeah.
Because that's accuracy on top of like just good hand-eye coordination and strength, and like he hit it hard. Like he hit it too hard.
He also said to the mosquito, "You hurt my friend." So
yeah.
Now I'm imagining a situation where Donovan had decided you were his friend and he was going to protect you. And then you showed up and were like, well, grabbed your neck. Grabbed your soul.
I didn't think about that till afterwards, though. Like it isn't until retrospect sets in that you realize how long you've actually been friends with your friends.
Right.
Like I like with you and I feel like we became fast friends. Like I feel like within 2 weeks I was like going over to your place and like Maddie knew me and we would like go to Mike's together. You know what I mean?
Maddie's my dog.
But then Maddie's his dog. I
don't know. I just felt like saying that because you just said Maddie knew me.
Like, no, I know, but because I almost went like I was petting Maddie, and then I just said Maddie knew me, so it was funny that you were then like, guys, Maddie's a dog, just because Josh doesn't know how to talk to people. But but yeah, like, so I think that with Donovan, Eric, Tyler, we all became faster friends than it felt like in that year. But looking back to like the freshman year of college now, I'm like, oh, we were friends in no time. But those moments, like just when you're in it, those moments feel like an eternity. It's like you're at this new place and especially, you don't know anybody.
The moments feel longer too when you take the time to just openly threaten each other. That really elongates a moment. When you turn just a simple hangout into fucking high noon, it really it makes things feel longer. I will say that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that.
Yeah, so, wow.
Like I said, Donovan didn't do anything wrong.
Listen, bud, my reactions have not been about what Donovan did. That is not what I've been hung up on. I am casting no stones at Donovan. I've been completely hung up on the insane man muttering threatening lyrics at somebody just because he's getting a vibe that he thinks he needs to pick a moment to be quietly crazy and threatening. That's what I'm hung up on. It's not Donovan. I honestly feel like Donovan gave you too many chances. Oh, well, we're over an hour. Do you? God, you're fucking weird. I love you to death. You're so fucking weird. Oh, you're great. Okay.
If there wasn't a copyright on it, I'd sing the lyric right now, but, I don't want those problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Kanye's not president now, so he's got time to track people down. So.
Thank you so much for listening to the Josh Johnson Show. I am so happy to be doing this podcast with one of my best friends that I became fast friends with, and not, in a weird battle over time and lyrics for us to figure each other out. If you're looking for more of us, you can find me on social, on Instagram at Josh Johnson Comedy, on Twitter at Josh Johnson, at Facebook at Josh J Comedy, and YouTube at Josh Johnson Comedy, where very soon we are going to start posting videos of this very podcast. If you want to see what our faces look like while we're reacting to each other's stories, then that'll be where you can do it. And if you're looking for Logan,
you can find me on Instagram at Logan M. Nielsen. And if you want to get a hold of us at the show, you want to send us an email, you can do that at joshjohnsonshow@gmail.com. You can send us a question or just a review, drop us a line. We're covering those right now in what we're calling our Monday mailbag. We're testing that out. We'll see, but we're going to handle those there for a little bit. And because it's been fun giving them a little more time, a little more space to breathe and not worrying about, right? Don't you think so?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Wow. Thanks for that enthusiastic endorsement.
I mean, this is how I say everything. This is why no one believes that I have feelings.
But you can get a hold of us there. And, if you could leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, a 5-star review, if you feel so kind, and leave us a review there. We like to cover those. And if you could follow us on Spotify, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, or if you could just get some friends to listen to it, go to your friend's dorm room, put on this podcast, just like say some weird, vague, threatening shit. Do whatever you can. Just spread, help share the show, with your friends.
Was that a dig at me?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. No, we're good. It's a mosquito there. Don't fuck with me.